Happy Camper Radio.
It is the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 252. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper, and no doubt about it, my friends, hang around with us long enough, we're going to make a happy camper out of you. Daniel, I've got a generator. I know you don't.
No, I don't.
But could you imagine what it would be like to have a generator that is run by your car?
Aha!
We're going to talk to a gentleman on the show today. Jonathan Schloo joins us from CarGenerator.com, and he has got a lot of useful information to share with us, both for the campers and the non-campers. So stick around for it. Episode 252 of the Happy Camper Radio Show is coming in your ear right now.
Happy Camper Radio.
And the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, and now on Odyssey, Samsung, and Player FM. A lot of places to join us. And, of course, if you want to see Daniel and I in action, check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We're there. Yeah, and Daniel, he's always dressed up. He's always got something to wear, all right, including his headbands. I mean, just a new one every week.
Well, that's a new camping one. I've got about 3 or 4
I'm
of
really
them.
starting to believe that you go out midweek and buy a new headband to wear for every show.
I have about 15 of them. So,
15?
yeah.
Okay.
About
Because,
15.
Yeah, I mean, everyone looks different. I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, they do look
I've
good.
got a camping section. I've got ones with bears and stuff. This has kayaks. The one I wore at the RV show had Happy Camper on it. So, you know, yeah.
Hey, and speaking of that RV show, we had a blast here, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
I did a little too much walking that day. I paid the price later that evening, but, you know, no, I had a great time. And a lot of RVs to see. Wow.
It's funny. After the RV show, I was looking up, like, so I don't have anything that'll really tow any of that stuff, but my mom has, like, a big old van. I was like, all right, well, how much can my mom's van? So if I did get an RV and I didn't have something to tow it at the time, I could borrow hers. I'm like, all right, how long? I was doing all kinds of dreaming and researching.
Well, you know, Daniel, I have been busy this past week.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, now, episode 250, we had our friend Gabriel on there from Clean Tank on the Road number 3, all right? And he has a lot of useful information. And, Daniel, and that's what I love about this show here.
Definitely.
Is because we have good guests on the program, and they share information. You know, we don't have the answers to everything.
Nope.
Okay? So, you know, Gabriel made it clear that, you know, a lot of the times you're dropping these pods into your black water and gray water tanks, they're building up this pancake-like batter. And that requires him to come in there and start cleaning these things out. Well, you know, if you go to their website, which is cleantank.com, that's it. All right. It tells you what you need to do. They have a formula there where you can make, I think it's pine sol. Is it? Yeah, pine sol and Calgon bath peat. Now, I don't have the recipe right in front of me, but guess what? I have been busy this past week, and look what I've been making. Yeah, I have been making the formula from that website.
Cool.
Okay, this is so cool, Daniel. Now, I bought these commercial-grade bottles online. And, you know, if you're going to do this, this is what I would recommend you get. Okay, because, you know, you could use those plastic soda bottles, you know, from the store. But, you know, you're driving down the road. These things are bouncing around.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't need to get to a campsite.
Yep.
All right, and have a mess to clean up. Okay, so I got this here from a local distributor, and for a little over $1 a piece.
Nice.
And I bought 12 of them.
Nice.
So I've been busy in the kitchen. Okay, yeah, you know, I'm not baking a cake. I'm not baking cupcakes or anything. I'm making the formula from cleantank.com. All right,
Yep.
Gabriel, thank you so much for that advice. And, yeah, I'll let you know how this works out because my first camping trip is about a month away.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, Daniel, on the show today, we have Jonathan Schloo,
Okay.
and he is from CarGenerator.com. Have you ever imagined using your vehicle as a generator to power your home,
Not my
or
home.
if you happen to be boondocking somewhere and you need to go, you know, power things up, you can do that. We're going to get Jonathan on the program right now. It's a Happy Camper Radio episode you're not going to want to miss. Stick around for it, okay?
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
Jonathan, welcome to the program.
Well, hello there. It's Jonathan with CarGenerator. Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice meeting you, too. I'll tell you what, I looked at the photos that you have on the website. I've watched the YouTube videos, and I am more than fascinated about CarGenerator.com. Why did you invent this?
That's a great question. So, in fact, I'm kind of a bit of a serial entrepreneur. I ran a tech company for 20 years, and my wife and I sold that company, and my wife and I bought an Airstream to travel. We love to travel, and the Airstream, we were really excited when we bought it because it had 5 big solar panels on it. We thought, man, we can go anywhere. But then the reality kicked in that we found we were in shady sites often. We had rain, cloudy days, things like that. And we realized, and the other thing is we kept pressing the cappuccino button a couple too many times, and we just realized that we need more power. You know, you can never really have too much power. And then I thought, you know what? I don't really want to buy, and of course you can buy any kind of generator you want, but I really didn't want to buy another big motor and and carry a bunch of gas cans around and do all these things. And I thought, you know what? My car engine, my tow vehicle engine, has a great motor, and it's very quiet and it's very clean. It's got, you know, thousands of dollars of emissions controls in it. And I thought, man, I wonder if I could use that safely and easily to do that. And I did. And we figured out how to use it for camping. And then, in fact, a couple of months later, in the fall, I was sitting on my front porch and I thought, gosh, I wonder what would happen if the power went out in our house. And we live in the northeastern region. And I thought, if the power goes out in my house, I wonder if I could run my home furnace or my sump pump or fridges on this. And we tried it and it worked. And then lucky enough for us, a couple of months later, we had a big ice storm and we had no power in our house for 3.5 days. And we just simply started our car and attached the early version of the car generator and powered the essentials of our house for 3.5 days. That's over 80 hours. We were warm in our house. Our fridge stayed cold. Our sump pump ran. All our neighbors moved out. Their pipes cracked. Lots of insurance damage, and we were really happy. And when it was all done, power came on just before Christmas. We had used about a half a tank of gas. That was with a hybrid vehicle at that time, and we have a diesel vehicle now. So they both work great. So that's the backstory behind CarGenerator.
Wow, you know, and you touched on a very important point here. Now, Jonathan, I have one of those generators in my garage that I bought many, many years ago from a local home improvement center, and it's a 55 100-watt generator. For the most part, it just sits there. I had to use it on a couple occasions when the power went out for an extended period of time. In this particular case, however, I mean, I have neighbors close by, and we know that those generators are very noisy. They make a lot of racket, and if you're going to be running them for several hours, chances are your local neighbor's not going to be too happy about it unless they're running one of their own. But in this case here, the car generator is very quiet, and you're basically running you're idling your vehicle, and that's the only noise it's making, correct?
That's very true. And nowhere can you tell that more obviously than in a campground. If you walk around in a campground, we were in camping, I don't know, in the last year or two, and we were walking around. It was a radio-free campground. And the only noises you could really hear were dogs and kids laughing and shouting and the generators running. And I just walked around and you could hear this constant noise. So, of course, we had the car generator. We only run it a couple hours a day. We don't run it around the clock. We just run it a couple hours just to bring up our batteries in our trailer. And our neighbors, honestly, I asked them after a couple of days, I said, did you even notice that we were running our car? And they didn't even notice, because you just really don't. You don't even, you're just quietly idling your car unless you've got some kind of monster truck with straight out, exhaust pipe treatment or something like that. Most cars are very quiet. They have to be quiet, and they have to be clean. They have so much environmental filtration in it. They have to be clean. So it's just all around. It's what you can't get in a regular generator. So, and surprisingly, the fuel use is about the same. So you can actually prove this to yourself. A lot of people think, wow, doesn't it use a lot of gas or fuel or diesel? And you can prove this to yourself. You can, a lot of cars you can actually see right on the dash when you're sitting there idling. It'll show you how many gallons or liters per hour you're using. And, or you can also get a very simple Bluetooth reader. I think I have a Blue Driver, I got from Amazon. And you can use that and you can see what your fuel rate per hour is. And if you compare that to a portable generator, you'll see it's about the same amount of fuel as a portable generator at the same load. So yeah, it's a pretty cool solution, and we love it. And the best thing is when you're done, you just put it away. It's 11 pounds. Like I've seen a guy that had a modification. It was like a trailer hitch mounted like a hit or like a winch that he could winch his generator up and down. I thought, dude, you're just trying way too hard. Like, use the engine you've already got. Who wants to carry around 100 pounds or 150 pounds of engine? Now that being said, if you camp a lot, if you're camping in like in the middle of, summer in Florida in heat, that you've got to run a generator and an air conditioner around the clock, then you know what, buy a gas generator, or even better, just go to an electric campsite, because no one wants to hear a motor running all the time, right? So if you need a gas generator for that, or more power, then just buy a regular gas generator. But a lot of people carry these things around in the back of their trucks, and they say to them, the first thing that they do when they buy a car generator is they sell their gas generator very happily, and they're just happy to get rid of it, because it's another piece of space junk taking up room in their truck that they use maybe once a season. So car generators are a much easier, simpler solution, and no maintenance ever.
Yeah, and your car generator is just attached to your vehicle, and your vehicle is idling. It's not like you're driving down the road burning gas, so you're actually saving gas in a way. Is that right?
You really are, and the concept is really simple. We've been in market for 7 years now. No harm to any vehicles, engines, alternators. Everyone's all worried that, the armchair experts on the internet for years, always used to say, wow, will this, damage your alternator or anything else? But the concept is very simple. Instead of every vehicle is engineered to provide power to run lights, heated seats, your cabin fan, defrosters, all those things. And instead of using it for that, because we're not driving down the road, you just take that power. We're just taking that power out and converting it to usable power to do a different job. And the car doesn't know or care the difference.
Yeah. And, for any of our podcast listeners, you definitely want to check out the YouTube channel, because we're going to have some photos here that Jonathan's providing, so you can get to see exactly what a car generator is. And as far as the size goes, from what I'm making out, it's no larger than a person's carry-on luggage at an airport, correct?
That's exactly right. It fits perfectly it's actually the size of a small backpack. It fits into a Pelican Air case that you could take as carry-on. And yeah, it's very small, compact, and it's only 11 pounds. That's
Okay.
our 1,000 watt model. So
Now, Jonathan, how does this work with hybrid vehicles?
that's a great question. So CarGenerator works with regular gas, diesel, hybrid, and also pure EV electric vehicles. So, and in fact, hybrid vehicles, we have one. We have a Toyota Highlander hybrid. Hybrid vehicles are the world's most efficient backup generator, bar none. Because what they do is the gas engine just starts, and if you have a hybrid vehicle or haven't driven one, you'll find out if you're just sitting there waiting in the parking lot, everything stays running or whatever, and the gas engine just kicks in and runs for about 5 or 10 minutes and then shuts off. So what it does is it very quickly recharges the built-in lithium battery, the big traction battery it's called, and then we just gently and safely take power out of that battery, not tapping into the battery itself, but tapped into the 12-volt circuit. So it's all safe. You're not running any high voltage. So people have tried to do all kinds of crazy things with their hybrid cars, and that's just really not safe. CarGenerator is very safe. You're only tapping into the 12-volt circuit. So the most important thing is that in that case, your hybrid vehicle will just start up and run quietly for 5 or 10 minutes and then shut off, and you continue to get that power. And that's something that any traditional gas generator can never do. There's no way that you could start your Honda generator. It'll go to a low, and people that's a really important thing. Some people think, oh, my generator is really quiet. Well, you know what? Fire that thing up to what its rated load is, and then tell me that it's quiet.
Okay.
Because it's artificial. They're charging their cell phone with their, Honda generator running, and isn't that quiet? But then you start, loading it up with what it's supposed to be doing, and it's a whole other animal. It's much, much louder. And it's because it doesn't have the kinds of exhaust and emissions controls and noise reduction. They can't put thousands of dollars into a $500 generator, right? So,
have you ever come across any anti-idling laws?
We have, and we actually, that's funny. Early on, we made an offer, which is still standing, to the first customer that has a car generator that gets an anti-idling ticket. We will either pay or defend that at our option. So, and we've had no one ever take us up on that, because it really is, if you're using it for an emergency purpose, most of the anti-idling bylaws in cities and townships and counties and things like that, if you look at them carefully, they've got an exemption for emergency situations, for running auxiliary equipment, which this counts as, and for doing something with it, essentially. So just starting your car in the driveway, like my neighbor does, leaving it running for an hour before she takes her kids to the country club, that's wasteful. I would say that's wasteful. But if you're running your car for a period of time in order to produce power, it's cleaner than running a standard gas generator. And from that perspective, you're much better environmentally than running a traditional gas generator.
Now, I have a 2018 Ford F-150, and I know if I want to go ahead and start my vehicle from inside the house, I got a key fob. I can do that, and it locks the vehicle and starts the engine, but that truck is not going to go anywhere until I insert the key and drive off. So I'm not going to worry too much about someone breaking into my car and stealing both my truck and my car generator. So that's a good point also. Is the car generator easy to hook up?
It is. It weighs 11 pounds. That's our most popular, the CarGenerator all-weather flagship model, which is 11 pounds. It's fully weatherproof and rainproof, so it'll work when you need it most if you're in a campsite and it's raining, or if you've got an emergency at home, you've had bad weather, there's snow, there's rain, whatever. After a tornado, all bad kind of conditions like that, you can use it. So hooking it up is very easy. You just hang the car generator on the front of your vehicle. There's an adjustable strap, and there's a rubber backing so it doesn't ever scratch your vehicle. And then you hook up there's built-in high heat booster cables that are custom engineered for us in the United States. And they're actually, they can withstand continuous use in the engine compartment. So you basically just hook that up, and you can slightly lower your hood so that it's, when you put your hood down and you just get that little first latch in there, that's where you can put it for most vehicles. And then you can use CarGenerator for as long as you want. It won't rain. The rain doesn't go in the engine compartment. The CarGenerator is fully weather and rainproof, so you can put a shower hose on it. We shot videos on our YouTube channel. You can see with a full shower hose on it, like it would be in a pouring rain situation. And we've engineered it, and CarGenerator is also fully patented in both Canada and the United States. So it's a unique invention that we've created, and it's the world's only fully weatherproof, rainproof consumer inverter. So yeah, that's all you do.
Well, Jonathan, I've got one other question here for you. Is there a limit as to what you can power inside your residence or at the RV park?
Yep, there sure is. And that's actually one of the key differentiators that you want to know with using CarGenerator. So the traditional way that people think about, or electricians and things like that, have always thought about generator and backup power, is to think, okay, you think, okay, gosh, we got to have a solution here to power, for emergency power for our house, as an example. And you call an electrician, and they walk through your house, and they'll add up your fridge and stove and your hot tub and washer and dryer, and they'll tell you, oh gosh, you need this 15,000 watt generator or 10,000 watt or whatever it is. And if you're one of those people that when the power goes out, and Generac is one of the biggest, they're the gorilla in the industry. And what they sell is that the enjoyment that when the power goes out, 30 seconds later, your whole house lights up. You can bake a cake, run laundry, hold a party, do everything all at the same time, just like nothing happened. That's not our solution. Like, if you want that, go pay $15,000, have a motor on your lawn, and enjoy that feeling. I always say to people that have those, though, I always say, make sure to keep a bottle of really expensive champagne in the fridge, because when the power goes out, yes, everything will run, but you just paid $400 an hour to have that. So you better make sure you really, really enjoy it. On the other hand, there's a lot of people that just say, you know what, if I could just run my home oil or gas furnace and maybe my fridge or my freezer or my sump pump, I'm happy. You know what, I can cook on the barbecue, I can buy takeout food. You can even get a little camping stove with a gas canisters, and you can cook on that. There's lots of ways you can do that, but you have to if you live in the northern climate, you have to keep your whole house warm. If you live in the southern climate, you need to keep your fridges and freezers running. I mean, you just think about one power outage for, a couple hours or half a day or a day or more, and you think about throwing out all the food in your freezer or your fridge. That's a lot, and food is really expensive these days. So you think about that versus CarGenerator, right? CarGenerator is $700-800. You just have it there, hang it on the wall, and when you need it, or store it in your furnace room or your garage when you need it, it works. So it is less power. If you want to know exactly an idea of how much continuous power you can get, now our 1,000 watt all-weather model gives you 1,000 watts of of power. But if you want to know for your vehicle exactly, whatever it is, a truck, a car, whatever, call your vehicle dealer like Ford or wherever it is, or GM or Toyota or whatever it is, hit the parts department, give them your phone number, and they will tell you for your exact vehicle what your alternator rating is. So they'll tell you probably like a typical minivan might be 160 amps as an example. All you do is you reduce that by half because it's idle speed and multiply by 12 volts. So that gives you, typical minivan as an example, or a Jeep maybe might be 160 amp alternator. Divide that in half is 80 times 12 gives you, close to 1,000 watts in that case. So that's how you can calculate it. And if you need any help, you can contact us on our website, cargenerator.com, or call us anytime if you want further questions, 1-800-750-4660, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions. So yes, it is lower amount of power, but it's enough to charge your RV trailer batteries, to run your RV furnace, the gas, like the built-in gas furnaces on all RVs, to run your fridges, at home, run your sump pump, all kinds of different things like that. So
that is so cool. Well, Jonathan, you provided us a wealth of information, and this is something I think Daniel will even take an opportunity.
It sounds awesome.
To look into, and let's keep in mind too, folks, if you're interested in getting CarGenerator for your personal use, whether it be at the campground or if we're at home, it's going to be a great asset for you. Who would have ever thought that you could use your vehicle, the vehicle that you have to drive back and forth to work with or do whatever, you can use that as a generator to power items in your house or at the campground. Jonathan, I want to take an opportunity to thank you for being on the show with us today. And again, for more information, you can find CarGenerator on the website at cargenerator.com. We also have a link to it on happycamperradio.com, and you can check it out there. Jonathan, thanks so much for being on the program. Glad to have you.
My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Have a very day, and happy campers to you.
Yeah, and happy camper to you too, my friend. Daniel, you ready to go out and buy a CarGenerator now? Now go home and talk to Deidre. Talk to the wife. Yeah, I'm sure she will make that happen. It's time now for our featured campground of the week right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel, Tennessee is just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Love Tennessee.
All right, I'm going to go up there, I think, this spring.
Okay.
All right, as soon as the leaves get on the trees and, it starts looking nice and pretty and it's starting to warm up a little bit.
Yep.
It's a great destination up there near Gainesboro, Tennessee. It's called the Salt Lick Creek Campground.
Oh, I've heard this.
Yeah, have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Salt Lick Creek Campground is located on Cordell Hall Lake on the Cumberland River system, just about 10 miles from Gainesboro, Tennessee. The lake itself was named after one of America's outstanding statesmen and one of Tennessee's finest volunteers. Friends and family come to enjoy the lake for boating, fishing, swimming, hiking, and a whole host of outdoor activities. You can find a whole lot of information right there on their website, Daniel, and we're going to have a link to it all week long on happycamperradio.com. And again, folks, if you don't have a recreation.gov account, you can sign up for one. Look for the little blue button in the upper right-hand corner there. Okay, and it says sign in or log in. If you have an account, you simply log in or sign up for an account. Because if you're a person like myself who uses a lot of recreation.gov campsites, this is the way to reserve your system well in advance. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready to start making some reservations here real soon, Daniel.
Yep.
So much looking forward to it. And the camping season, like I say, for me, is just around the corner. So, it's a great place to go camping. Tennessee, if you happen to be coming down this way, and you're looking to maybe check in with Daniel and I as a nearby campsite, hey, Here's one place we might very well be. It's the Salt Lick Creek Campground, and it is our featured campground of the week right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel on happycamperradio.com.
And if you have a campground you'd like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, or the Lost Druid T-shirt guy.
It's a beer place.
Yeah.
Daniel at happycamperradio.com.
And be sure to include a link to the campground website. Daniel, it's a great day to go camping.
It is.
And we had some nasty weather last night. It's starting to clear up, and that makes me feel real good. And I know Sadie's ready to go camping, too.
Oh, yeah.
She's been barking at me all week long. Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. Speaking of dogs, do yourself a favor. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us on the web. We're there 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. You can like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And if you want to be a subscriber to the show, there's the little red box right down there.
There it is.
Click on it. Be a subscriber to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel, always a happy camper. And you better believe it, folks. We're going to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. Thanks for listening. This is Happy Camper Radio.